What an absolute embarrassment. What an embarrassing second half, first half, whole game performance that was. What a complete and utter mess. At the end of that game, it looked like under 8 Sunday League football. It was just horrendous, horrendous. Crystal Palace 4, Aston Villa 1. And I've talked about this. I said this after the Ipswich game that we have a small time mentality at Aston Villa that, yes, we can turn up to a big game at Villa Park or even a big game away from home in a game that we're meant to be the underdogs, in a game that we have to, our backs against the wall and we can battle our way out of it. Yes, we got a point against Liverpool. Yes, we got a victory against Chelsea, but it counts for absolutely nothing when you just turn up and absolutely embarrass yourself at Selhurst Park against Crystal Palace. And yes, Crystal Palace is a tough place to go, but this small time mentality in a game that you should be imposing your game on the opposition, you should be strong in defence, strong in midfield and strong up front. You should have a clear game plan. We just absolutely crumble. And this lack of consistency at Aston Villa this season has just been absolutely ridiculous. And everyone's to blame. Coaches, players, manager. Just absolutely shocking performance. And you've got to earn the right to play. You have to put your tackles in. You have to do the basics. Win tackles, win headers, make clearances, make the right decisions, play the percentages, stop playing the ball across the back, especially when the team has the pace of Sarr, Eze, Mateta, especially when they have the midfield with Wharton and Hughes who are going to press you, You know that they can see goals at the back. Play the ball into the channels. We had quick players with the ball, players who could pick the ball up on transition, pick the ball up after the second ball and run at the defense. So why not allow them to do it? Why not turn the defense, make them head it clear, and then we could pick up the ball, take the pressure off the defenders. But no, what we do is we continue to play the ball across the back. We slow the game down so that everything's at a standstill, and then we pass the ball out to Boharder or Disassi or Konsa, and then allow them to get pressed and think, oh, I know what we'll do. We'll pass it out wide to Garcia, or we'll pass it out wide to Lugadine, who's got a player right up his arse, and then they've got to try and do some sort of fancy turn or flick or try and play a ball one touch, and when we just give it away. Or even better, we'll just give it the ball to John McGinn, who just gives the ball away constantly gives the ball away. Absolutely embarrassing. The one time that we played the ball long, what do? We score a goal. Oh, amazing. But then what do? We go back to playing the ball across the back. And what do? We concede a ridiculous goal that puts Palace back in the lead. And then it's absolutely game over because Villa have no heart. They've got no leaders. They've got no mentality. And we just crumble. Absolutely shocking performance. Everyone is to blame. Ridiculous performance tonight. And fair play to Crystal Palace. They absolutely done us over. Scored the goal when they needed to score it. It was fairly even in the first sort of 25, 30 minutes. No team really did anything, but they scored the goal off a ridiculous mistake from Emi Martinez. I don't know what the hell he's doing. And poor marking, again, from a set piece, probably shouldn't have been given, but it's no excuses whatsoever. You've got to clear the ball properly. You've got to stop the cross, and you've got to mark players on the second or third phase. Ridiculous defending. Ball comes back into the box, and I think it's Richards who heads it down. And what is Emi Martinez doing? It's not even got any pace on it. He could just dive down and catch it. But no, he parries it out to the player who scores constantly against Aston Villa, Ismail Assar, who just taps it into the net. Unbelievable. Yes, we had a terrible decision or a really, really, really dodgy offside that went against us. Actually, really nice play between Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins. Rogers picks up the ball. Watkins on the run. He plays him in. It goes slightly too far, but Watkins does fantastically well, cuts it back, and Rogers on the run puts the ball into net. And you think, yes, 1-1, we can go in at half-time 1-1. But Watkins was pulled up for offside, which was extremely debatable. You know, it's level for me, absolutely level. But VAR gives it offside. Very, very, very debatable decision. But look, take nothing away. That is what it is. And we actually didn't start the second half very well. It was Palace who started the second half better, but we got the goal. And Rogers again did well. Long ball from Olsen, who had to come on for Emi Martinez. I don't know if it was embarrassment or injury from Martinez, but he has not been good this season. We've been quiet on Emi Martinez, but I don't know what Unai Emery spoke to him about before the game, because they said they talked about not having as many clean sheets, and he was disappointed with his performance. Well, you can certainly count that one as being disappointed with your performance as well, because that was shocking goalkeeping. But he went off at half time. Robin Olsen, long ball over the top, and I think it's flicked on by Watkins. And Rogers does well. He does well actually not to handball it. He rolls the defender and then puts it in the bottom corner. And you think, right, Villa, go for it, because we brought Leon Bailey on, which is again was a really, really weird decision to put him at some kind of right wing back. Sometimes Disasi was pulling over to right back and Bailey was pulling up front. And you thought, right, go after it and go after it. But sloppy passing. McGinn was awful in that second half, constantly giving the ball away. He was too busy trying to keep in a battle with Will Hughes. Will Hughes went off, and then Adam Morton just took over the whole game in that midfield. But McGinn was terrible 3 or 4 times, consistently giving the ball away. But why are we continuing to give him the ball in those midfield areas? He can't keep rolling his man. They know exactly what he's going to do. Ball goes out, and I think it's Eza who picks it up, Osaru picks it up, Ramsey, who tries to control it. He loses the ball, and then he fouls Sarr, but the referee plays it on, goes into Eza, who passes it to Mateta. Lovely touch, and then just slams it into the corner, into the roof of the net. No chance for the goalkeeper, really, but we were warned. We were warned about this. We constantly played the ball out from the back and constantly gave it away. And with the pace that Crystal Palace have, we were always going to get punished. And then it goes to 2-1. Then it goes to 3-1. Again, sloppy defending, no marking, no tackling, let crosses in. We let an easy cross into the box. And Ismail Assar, again, who scored 6 goals in 5 games against Aston Villa. 37.5% of his Premier League goals have come against Aston Villa. And he just strokes it on the volley into the bottom corner. Yes, VAR check, but he's miles onside. The player in the right-hand side position, Munoz, and yeah, 3-1, game over. Villa makes subs. Rashford comes on. Asensio comes on. Don't have an opportunity to do anything, and the formation is an absolute, complete and utter mess. Bailey's playing right forward, but then he's having to play at right back. Asensio somewhere in the midfield. Morgan Rogers is up front somehow. Marcus Rashford is off the left. McGinn and Tielemans are just running all over the place. And yeah, it was just an absolute, utter mess. We have a couple of efforts. I think Konsa has a header off the bar. I think we have Bailey has a couple of dangerous efforts, but it was just so sloppy and so disjointed. And yeah, it was just ridiculous performance. And then to top it all off, Eddie Nketiah hasn't scored a Premier League goal all season, comes on, and guess what? We roll out the red carpet and give him a tap-in from 2 yards away. As I said, Leon Bailey's trying to play at right back. He gets beaten all ends up, and we let a cross in, and Nketiah, no marking. I don't know where Disasi is. I don't know where Konsa is. I don't know where Ian Matson is, because he's come on at this point. Might as well have anyone on, and Nketiah just puts it in the net. And why do we get so excited? Why do we get so hopeful? We've just picked up 4 points from the last 2 games against Liverpool and Chelsea. We've put ourselves back in the shot of top 5. But a performance like that is just absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. And there is absolutely, on that evidence, there is no way we are getting anywhere near those European spots. And then it'll be a waste of time signing the likes of Rashford, signing the likes of Asensio. We were waxing lyrical about them on the weekend. We don't start them. Why not start them? What is this starting lineup? Unai Emery, please explain to us. Garcia in playing some sort of right wing back position. Lamar Bohade in there. Yes, he does okay, but why why try and play free at the back? Why? Why not play the likes of Rashford and Asensio? They changed the game for us on the weekend. Rogers, it's clear he needs a rest. Yes, he scored today, but largely anonymous for the whole game. Ramsey, sharp but sloppy in places. Yes, he finished a decent effort, but he was offside. But apart from that, what did he do? Tielemans and McGinn, yes, I know it's difficult to balance up playing them. They're having to play at the moment, but could you have put Bogard in the midfield? Disassi, what are we doing with him? He's sometimes playing right back. Sometimes he was in right centre back. Doesn't know whether he's coming or going. Ridiculous starting lineup for me from Unai Emery. Absolutely ridiculous. And then, Martinez gets injured, so it means you can't bring on another attacker. But we might as well just throw anyone on it at the end of the game. Nobody knew where they were playing. Complete and utter mess. Like I said, it looked like some under-8 Sunday league game where the kids were just running after the ball all over the place. Just absolute shambolic performance. 5 points in the last 4 games. Nowhere near good enough. And questions have to be asked of the manager. Questions have to be asked of the strategy. Questions have to be asked of the players. Away from home, we are absolutely terrible. We're too easy to play against. We concede sloppy goals. 1 or 2 passes and teams are straight through us. We're trying to play this controlled game, this controlled passing and trying to set up these moves, but we're not competing. We're not showing. We're not earning the right to play. We are trying to play our game as if we're nice and calm, as if we're 2 or 3-0 up, but we're not. We're 0-0. We're 1-0 down. We're 2-0 down. And it's a complete and utter mess. Teams are just picking us off. Tielemans and McGinn are good in certain times, but they are not good when teams are trying to pick us off on the break. They're not good. We have a defense that is consistently changing, whether that be through injury or through tactics. You have to do the basics. Why aren't we doing the basics? Why aren't we playing the ball up into the channels? Why aren't we playing the ball up the line? Why aren't we clearing the ball out of play if there aren't any options? Why are we trying to play players into under pressure? What are we doing? This is just absolute schoolboy basic football that we are not comprehending. There is no chance of us finishing in the European spots, and I'm actually embarrassed that I was getting excited about, after the last couple of games that we were back in with a shout, because I said after the Ipswich game, we've got a small time mentality. And now I'm standing by that. We've got a small time mentality. Yes, we can put ourselves up for the so-called big games, the so-called nights where we're the underdog. Yes, we can pull up our socks, roll up our sleeves against the likes of Liverpool. Yes, we can show what we can do against Chelsea, and we can come back and show a bit of character. But the characters against teams like Crystal Palace, against Ipswich, against West Ham at home, against Bournemouth at home, that's where you show the character. That's where you show you've got the credentials to finish in the Champions League or high up in the league. But on this evidence, absolutely embarrassing. Absolutely embarrassing. Anyway, that is it from me. I don't really care about anything else going on. We've got Cardiff on Friday night in the FA Cup. We'll probably go out to them. Absolutely ridiculous, and the season's probably done. Yes, it's a head loss, but I can't see anything going on after that game. Questions have got to be asked to this team at the minute. And I don't want to see them on social media saying, "Oh, we're not good enough. Sorry to the fans. We'll be back next game." Piss off. Absolute rubbish. You had your opportunity tonight. You had your opportunity and you blew it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Help us continue on the road to 6K. We'll be back in the next couple of days with a match preview for Cardiff. Thank you for watching. We'll follow the Villa.